Hello and welcome to card number 2 in November's Merry and Bright card class. Thank you for returning. For the second card, we're going to step it up a little bit. We're going to use the stamped images as well as those lovely dies. And I've added in the lovely sparkly silver adhesive paper. I'm just going to zoom into that. The sparkle on this paper is absolutely beautiful. I thought it was such a nice product to use with this set. And who doesn't love a bit of sparkle at Christmas? There's also a little bit of embossing on this card, so heat embossing. I've used white embossing powder onto black card. And the colours that I've used, they're in the measurement guide, but you've got Pool Party base with Coastal Cabana filament. You've got Flirty Flamingo base with Melon Mambo filament, Lemon Lime Twist base with Granny Apple Green filament, Daffodil Delight base with Crushed Curry filament, and Real Red base, Poppy Parade base with Real Red filament. Okay, so things that you will need to cut your pieces from the measurement guide, and then you will also need these super sparkly dies that have been cut for you. You've got the wire with the kink in it, and then you've got 5 of the screw fixtures. So let's start by building the card. Just realised my card isn't scored. Let's just put that there. Let's just score this. Excuse me, this is my studio trimmer as opposed to my class trimmer. Let's just give that a little score. Okay. So you have a piece of the designer series paper, and I've used the long bulbs as well. On the back is this lovely green, but feel free to use whichever pattern that you like. For those of you that aren't familiar with my card classes, as well as getting access to the videos, you also have a step-by-step measurement guide PDF that's sent to you, so you can cut everything beforehand. Okay, then you have a piece of this white card. Now I'm just going to draw myself a nice little line around the edge of that just to highlight it a bit more, because the backing of the DSP is white. I'm just going to follow this around. And that's going to go on at an angle. Okay. Now I've chosen to cut my DSP a bit bigger because I think you can't really see too much of it on there, and I want to use the DSP. So I've cut mine a little bit bigger for the card that I'm demonstrating. If you wanted the same look as this, where you've got more of a red outline, just cut your DSP behind it down. It will be 9.5 centimeters by 13.9 centimeters. Okay, but your piece of white measurement is exactly the same, so we're not going to change that. Okay, and that's going on at an angle. You also have a piece that is the same size, and this is for the inside of the card. I'm going to do the same, just go around the edge with my black fine line pen. A black fine line pen for me is an absolutely essential craft item. You can pick them up from most stationery shops and online retailers. And I'm going to put that in as well. That's also going to go in at an angle, just because, why not? Okay, that's all I can do for the card for the time being. So next we need to do some stamping, and you need a piece of white card for that. And I'm just wondering if I can get them all out of that. Probably not. So let's use a bigger piece. Okay, so the colours, where's my stamp? The stamp I'm going to use is the long one, and the filament I'm going to use, I'm just checking. I think I've used the short one. So the filaments, there are 2 different sizes, and I think I've used the short one. So let's go with the short, okay? So let me just grab something else before we get started. let's make a start. I'm going to start with the lightest colour. So I'm going to start with Lemon Lime Twist. Now, when you're stamping your bulbs, you don't want to put them right to the top, and I'll explain why when we do the die cutting. So I'm just going to bring them down a bit. You don't need it to be too far down, but maybe a centimetre from the top. And I'm going to do all the bulbs first. Next, I want Daffodil Delight. Lovely. Then let's go to Pool Party. That's not a great stamp, so I'm just going to do that again. That's better. Okay. Then I want Melon Mambo. No, I don't. I want Flirty Flamingo. Flirty Flamingo. And then lastly, I want Poppy Parade. Perfect. That Poppy Parade is so nice. And then moving on to the filaments. So put that one out of the way. The filaments, let's work backwards. I've got Real Red. I've got Melon Mambo now. I can never remember the name of this ink pad. I think it's because it's a colour that I very seldom use. And then I've got Coastal Cabana. And then I've got Crushed Curry. This ink pad formation is also used a bit later on as well. I've used the same sort of colouring all the way through. And then lastly, we want Granny Apple Green. Okay, so now let's cut those out. I could have done, here's one I made earlier, but I don't often like doing that. So now let's put these in. You do get 2 of each shape die in the set. So what you're going to do is you're going to line these up around, and this is the reason why you needed to leave a gap at the top, because it's going to cut that top bit out, and you want that because that is going to be what we use to stick the screw top on. Okay, and there's the other plate, which is not what I wanted because they've made. I could use some washi tape. Actually, I think I will have to. Let's see how we get on with that. When you're using this mini machine, it's really important to stagger your plates. Yeah, that one's moved. So let's put some washi tape on it. If I can find the end. So I'll cut this one out, and then I'll add the filament stamp after. One, two, and then I want to do this. Yeah, almost there now. And then the last one is the red. Now, when I did the first card, I definitely must have used an ink pad that needed re-inking, because this Poppy Parade is a lot brighter. That's all of them cut out now. So now we have to just attach everything together. Now the great thing about these screws is that they've got a sticky back. They're adhesive back, so you can use them as stickers. So you're going to pop them on like so. So just do that to all of them. The backing comes off really easily as well, which is always nice. Remember to take out the little pieces in the loops. Okay, I've done that one, and I need to do the colour am I missing? No, I've got 5. Let me just stamp at the filament though in that one. So that is Coastal Cabana. Done. Okay, so now we have our 5 bulbs, and this is the fun bit. So before we've stuck them on and then we've put this in, but this time, because we're using the whole of the thing, whole of this, we're going to sort of thread them on. So you want to put the yellow one on first, and then you're going to stick that down. Okay, so these are going to get stuck down with some dimensionals. Okay, so you're going to just angle that like so, put your dimensional under and stick that one in place. Okay, remember that you've got your backing on this. Take off the backing. Okay, so take off your backing, slide that back through. That's it. And then I'm just going to stick that little bit down there. The next one to go on is the red one. So dimensional on the back, slide it in. And you're going to sort of just change the angle of them slightly when you put them through. Because actually when you pick up lights, they're not all hanging in the same direction, are they? They all go a bit sort of all over, well mine do, all over the place. And you'll notice I'm not putting too much pressure on these at this moment, because I want to make sure that they all go where I want them to go. And then lastly is this blue one. Okay, so there you have it, like so. Now push them all in place, and then all we've got left to do is the sentiment. I did have a little black piece of black card. Here he is. So the black card you need I'm going to start with a little embossing putty just to get rid of the static off my card. Okay, and then I'm going to use my Versamark to stamp the sentiment, which is "Oh, what fun." Try and get it straight. That's it. I'm going to dip that in my embossing powder. Give it a little tap. And then we're going to heat that. I'm just going to grab my tweezers for this. Like so. And then you just heat that with your embossing heat tool. And then that's that all done. So now take that off, and I'm going to stick this on with a couple of little foam pads to raise it up. And there we have it. That is card number 2, all finished. I hope you enjoyed putting that together. The bulbs are a little bit fiddly, but I do think they are worth the effort, and I think they look fab with the red and with that DSP behind it. So I'll leave you all there, and do join me on card number 3 when we're going to make this. A little bit of a take on what we've done here, but just using those dies a little bit differently, using a combination of the bulbs and using that really nice DSP. So join me over on video number 3 next. Bye for now.